So after the record defeat to the Springboks, I think Scott Robertson needs to make some bold changes to his squad when they take on the Wallabies in the last 2 rounds of the Rugby Championship. Some bold selections in that. Rotating your squad is a good thing to do. Now is probably a good time to do that. And certain players might need a little tap on the shoulder to be like, you know what, you haven't been playing up to the standard that we need. There's other guys that have been, and we're going to change you out, and let's see how that goes. All Blacks fans, what do you guys think? What changes would you make? What changes would you bring in? What changes would you like to see? And what are your expectations of these next 2 games versus the Wallabies for the All Blacks? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So I'm just going to get straight into it. So this is my All Blacks team to take on the Wallabies at Eden Park. It's a huge game for the All Blacks. It's a big game for the Wallabies. It's a big game in the whole standing of the Rugby Championship, but I'm going to get into that. We're talking just about the All Blacks team here. So, Tamati Williams, Fletcher Newell, Cody Taylor up front. Then Tupou Vai, Fabian Holland in locks. Simon Parker, Ardie Savea captain, and Wallace Atiti, the back row. Cam Roigard, Damien McKenzie, 9 and 10. Quinn Tupaia and Lester Fainganuku in the centres. Back 3 of Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, and Ruben Love. The bench, Samisoni Tokiaho, Tyrell Lomax, Ethan de Groot, Scott Barrett, Duplessis Karifi, Cortez Ratima, Geordie Barrett, and Leroy Carter. It's a lot of changes, but it's a very, very exciting squad. This is a team that'll get you sitting forward on your seat. Absolutely. It's a good rotation of the squad. Still a lot of guys that have got experience as well. And then bringing in guys that have been playing really well, dropping some guys that haven't been playing that well. But we'll get into some of the reasons why. As always, All Blacks fans, what do you guys think? Is Scott Robertson bold enough to make this many changes? Do you think he'll just stick to his guns and hope for a different result? Because is that the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing, expecting a different result? So I've gone with change it up and let's see what happens. All right, up front, Tamati Williams, Fletcher Newell, Cody Taylor. All Crusaders front row really struggled at scrum time versus the Springboks. Wallabies will be a different ball game altogether. Still a very strong scrum from the Wallabies. But I'm looking for that cohesion and that continuity from this Crusaders front row. Hopefully them 3 together be a stronger unit, work well for the Crusaders at Super. Let's see if that can work well together at international level. And then you've got Tokiaho, Lomax, and de Groot off the bench that can bring that extra punch on later. Cody Taylor was also massively missed. I think just experience-wise and calm-wise, like knowing what to say, when to say it, and then just his ball-carrying ability. He's getting around the park, doing that donkey work ability as well. They really missed him in that Wellington Test game versus the Springboks. Then locks. Tupou Vai, Fabian Holland. These 2 have been great. Really, really good at different points of the game. They obviously haven't played together yet. I've dropped Scott Barrett from my team. I think separately, these Tupou Vai and Fabian Holland have played really well. I do think Scott Barrett plays really well. And there's a lot of things that it gets overlooked. What he does a lot of the donkey work, hits a lot of rucks, makes a lot of carries, and does a lot of things that most players and like the stats don't really pick up on, or most fans, that don't pick up on. But I do think it's also a good opportunity for him to have the little tap on the shoulder and be like, maybe he needs to up his game a bit more. He's not irreplaceable. There is other guys that can come in and do a job there. We've seen how well it's worked for the Springboks at different times where Siya Kolisi gets dropped and other guys come in there. Your captain shouldn't be in the team just because he's a good captain. He needs to be playing well as well. So that's my reasoning there. And I'd like to see the connection of Vi and Holland go together. Then my back row stays the same. Simon Parker, Artie Savia, Wallace Atiti. Artie Savia just gets the captain's armband. Still a new kind of makeup of that back row. Did really well for them in the Eden Park test. Kind of went missing in that Wellington test. But as an All Black fan, or as an All, like, looking from the outside, I'm like, you kind of have to scratch the Wellington test because, man, you can maybe look at that first half, but the second half, All Blacks were non-existent. Let's be honest, 36 unanswered points. So let's kind of just scratch that. I think the Eden Park test, Artie Savia, Simon Parker and Wallace Atiti worked really well. The combo of what they did, I thought Simon Parker did a lot of the grunt work and that donkey work, which allowed Artie Savia to then be a bit more expansive, come up with those big plays at crucial times in the game because he's not having to do so much of that donkey work as well. Then Wallace Atiti's big ball carries, getting through all of that kind of work. So it worked really well in that regard. 9 and 10, Cam Roigard, Damien McKenzie. Cam Roigard is back. He's playing this weekend for Counties Monaco. So hopefully that means he plays a few minutes there and then he's straight into the team. They need him there. They definitely need him there. Just being that X factor around the rucks. His distribution is elite. Support play is elite. He's physical. He's one of the best nines. When he's on, Cam Roigard is one of the best nines to play the game. So hopefully he gets good minutes with, I think it is Counties Monaco, and then he can come straight in there to start. I think Damien McKenzie gets an opportunity at 10. They've tried now with Barrett for the past 4 games. Surely Beauden Barrett's not going to be your guy to take you to the World Cup. Yes, Richie Mwanga comes next year, but still, you need to give other guys opportunity. And I think Damien McKenzie gets an opportunity here. Kicks well off the tee. You know what he brings in attack. Yes, a lot of people say in the bigger games he kind of goes missing, but you're not, like, you need to give the guy opportunity. You need to give him an opportunity in these bigger games again to see if he can do it. How many times has Rassie and the Springboks given Marnie Lebok opportunity? And he's coming into his own and he's coming good. So I think McKenzie gets another shot there at 10. My centres, Quintupaya, Lester, Fainganuku. I think Geordie Barrett and Billy Proctor get a break. Yes, I've got Geordie Barrett on the bench, but I think Quintupaya and Fainganuku get an opportunity. Like, yes, Antonina Brown is there as well. Timothy's injured, so he's not an option there. But I think give these guys, how exciting is that? If you're looking at a team and you're like, wow, we've got these guys at centre, like pure game breakers. You got Quintupaya who can get over that vantage line, big, physical, strong, hard running. And then Lester Fainganuku, exactly the same, but add a bit more explosiveness to it. He's got that game-breaking ability, can step, you can run over the top of you, can hand you off, can throw the little flick pass. These guys, like, get them in there. Get them in there. I would love to see that makeup at centre. And then my back three of Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, Ruben Love. Caleb Clark's been doing well for Auckland, coming back. I think he's just a bigger body as well. Also still fast and strong. Nothing against Leroy Carter. I've got Leroy Carter on the bench. But a big game. This is going to be at Eden Park again. And it's the Bledisloe Cup on the line. I think Caleb Clark comes in and does a job for you there. Can use him well off first phase, coming around the corner off the line out or off scrum. Imagine you've got Damien McKenzie running at the line. You've got Quintupaya, Lester Fainganuku, and then you've got Caleb Clark coming around the corner. And out the back, you've got Ruben Love and then Will Jordan. Do like that. Ruben Love started off the bench in Wellington. I think he gets an opportunity. Like, I would love to see it. I would love to see Love in there. I don't know if that's going to happen. There might be too many changes here. And not to bring this back to the Springboks, but how many changes did the Springboks make from Eden Park to Wellington? And it worked out. It worked out really well. Sometimes you need to throw the guys in the deep end and see what can happen. Absolutely. Get Ruben Love in there and get Will Jordan on the wing. Don't mind. Even Will Jordan at fullback and then Ruben Love on the wing maybe. That could work as well. And then on the bench, So I've spoken about the front row on the bench, Scott Barrett on the bench, but you could have someone like Josh Lord and maybe let Scott Barrett sit this one out completely. Or you could just have him on the bench to bring that impact on a little bit later. We saw how well it worked with the Springboks with arresting someone like Eben Etzebeth. You got to give these guys a bit of a break sometimes. Duplessis Karifi, know what he does when he comes on strong, brings on that energy. Love that. Ratima has been, I'm pretty sure, has he been released to play NPC this weekend? He might be, but I'm pretty sure he's good to go. So I'll have him in there. Otherwise, Finlay Christie comes back in. Geordie Barrett covers 10 centre, fullback, and then you've got Leroy Carter that can cover wing, scrum off if needed. He can cover centre, outside centre. He has played at outside centre for Bay of Plenty. And then you've got Ruben Love who's on there who can cover fly off as well if needed. Yes, a lot of changes, some bold changes, but I think that is what's needed to stir this All Black squad up a bit. To be like, hey, you don't just get your spot. You have to play for it. Let's change. We have the depth to change the squad up a bit. Is it too bold? I don't know. All Blacks fans, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye.